Good evening, folks. Might be a little bit early. I'd like to welcome everyone that would like to join in. We're in chapter 43, the book of Jasher, this evening. It's a really nice day out here today. It ain't so hot. Kind of a cool day today. Hi, Diane. Good to see you, sister. Glad you could join me today. It's a very nice day. It's not hot. Been kind of a cool day today. I guess due to all the rain and all that we got the other day. But everyone is welcome here. Christians and non-Christians alike. I'm here if anyone has any questions concerning Christianity. I'll be glad and try to answer those questions to those that are non-Christians. And I'd just like to say to anybody out there, if you're just scrolling along, you're welcome to join in. You can check out my content, and if you like what you see, hope you'll like and subscribe to my channel. But we are in the 43rd chapter of the book of Jasher. Joseph's brethren grieve. As you see, Joseph has been taken into Egypt, was sold into slavery by his brothers. So we're going to start from where we left off. Verse 1. When the sons of Jacob had sold their brother Joseph to the Midianites, their hearts were smitten on account of him. They repented of their acts, and they sought for him to bring him back, but could not find him. And Reuben returned to the pit in which Joseph had been put, in order to lift him out and restore him to his father. And Reuben stood by the pit, and he heard not a word. And he called out, Joseph, Joseph. And no one answered or uttered a word. And Reuben said, Joseph has died through fright, or some serpent has caused his death. And Reuben descended into the pit, and he searched for Joseph and could not find him in the pit. And he came out again. And Reuben tore his garments, and he said, the child is not there. And how shall I reconcile my father about him if he be dead? And he went to his brethren and found them grieving on account of Joseph, and counseling together how to reconcile their father about him. Reuben said unto his brethren, I came to the pit, and behold, Joseph was not there. What then shall we say unto our father? For my father will only seek the lad from me. And his brethren answered him, saying, Thus and thus we did, and our hearts afterwards smote us on account of this act. And we now sit to seek a pretext how we shall reconcile our father to it. And Reuben said unto them, What is this you have done to bring down the gray hairs of our father in sorrow to the grave? The thing is not good that you have done. And Reuben sat with them, and they all rose up and swore to each other not to tell this thing unto Jacob. And they all said, The man who will tell this to our father or his household, or who will report this to any of the children of the land, we will all rise up against him and slay him with the sword. And the sons of Jacob feared each other in this matter, from the youngest to the oldest. No one spoke a word, and they concealed the thing in their hearts. And they afterwards sat down to determine and invent something to say unto their father Jacob concerning all these things. And Isaac said unto them, Here is an advice for you, if it seem good in your eyes to do this thing. Take the coat which belongeth to Joseph, and tear it, and kill a kid of the goats, and dip it in its blood, and send it to our father. When he seeth it, he will say, An evil beast hath devoured him. Therefore tear ye his coat, and behold, his blood will be upon his coat. And by your doing this we shall be free of our father's murmuring. And Isaac's advice pleased them, and they hearkened unto him, and they did according to the word of Isaac which he had counselled them. And they hastened and took Joseph's coat and tore it, and they killed a kid of the goats and dipped it. And then they trampled it in the dust. And they sent the coat to their father Jacob by the hand of Naphtali. And they commanded him to say these words, We had gathered in the cattle, and they had come as far as the road to Shechem and farther, when we found this coat upon the road in the wilderness, dipped in blood and in dust. Now therefore know whether it be thy son's coat or not. Naphtali went, and he came unto his father, and he gave him the coat. And he spoke unto him all the words which his brethren had commanded him. And Jacob saw Joseph's coat, and he knew it, and he fell upon his face to the ground, and became as still as a stone. And he afterward rose up and cried out with a loud weeping voice. And he said, It is the coat of my son Joseph. And Jacob hastened and sent one of his servants to his sons, who went to them, and found them coming along the road with the flock. And the sons of Jacob came to their father about evening, and behold, their garments were torn, and dust was upon their heads. And they found their father crying out and weeping with a loud voice. And Jacob said unto his sons, Tell me truly, what evil have you this day suddenly brought upon me? And they answered their father Jacob, saying, We were coming along this day, after the flock had been gathered in, and we came as far as the city of Shechem by the road in the wilderness. And we found this coat filled with blood upon the ground. And we knew it, and we sent unto thee if thou couldst know it. And Jacob heard the words of his sons, and he cried out with a loud voice. And he said, It is the coat of my son. An evil beast has devoured him. Joseph is rent in pieces. For I sent him this day to see whether it was well with you, and well with the flocks, and to bring me word again from you. And he went as I commanded him, and this has happened to him this day, whilst I thought my son was with you. And the sons of Jacob answered and said, He did not come to us, neither have we seen him from the time of our going out from thee until now. And when Jacob heard these words, he again cried out aloud, and he rose up and tore his garments, and he put sackcloth upon his loins, and he wept bitterly, and he mourned, and lifted up his voice in weeping, and exclaimed and said these words, Joseph, my son, O my son Joseph, I sent thee this day after the welfare of thy brethren, and behold, thou hast been torn in pieces. Through my hand has this happened to my son. It grieves me for thee, Joseph, my son, it grieves me for thee. How sweet wast thou to me during life, and now how exceeding bitter is thy death to me. Oh, that I died in thy stead, Joseph, my son, for it grieves me sadly for thee, my son. Oh, my son, Joseph, my son, where art thou? And where hast thou been drawn? Arouse, arouse from thy place, and come and see my grief for thee, O my son Joseph. Come now, number the tears gushing from my eyes down my cheeks, and bring them up before the Lord, that his anger may turn from me. O Joseph, my son, how didst thou fall by the hand of one by whom no one had fallen from the beginning of the world unto this day? For thou hast been put to death by the smiting of an enemy, inflicted with cruelty. But surely I know that this has happened to thee on account of the multitude of my sins. Arouse now and see how bitterly is my trouble for thee, my son. Although I did not rear thee, nor fashion thee, nor give thee breath and soul, but it was God who formed thee, and built thy bones, and covered them with flesh, and breathed in thy nostrils the breath of life. And then he gave thee unto me. Now truly God who gave thee unto me, he has taken thee from me. Such then has befallen thee. Jacob continued to speak like unto these words concerning Joseph, and he wept bitterly. He fell to the ground and became still. And all the sons of Jacob, seeing their father's trouble, they repented of what they had done, and they also wept bitterly. And Judah rose up and lifted his father's head from the ground, and placed it up on his lap. And he wiped his father's tears from his cheeks. And Judah wept an exceeding great weeping, whilst his father's head was reclining upon his lap, still as a stone. And the sons of Jacob saw their father's trouble, and they lifted up their voices and continued to weep. And Jacob was yet lying upon the ground, still as a stone. And all his sons and his servants children rose up and stood round about him to comfort him. And he refused to be comforted. And the whole household of Jacob rose up and mourned a great mourning on account of Joseph and their father's trouble. And the intelligence reached Isaac, the son of Abraham, the father of Jacob. And he wept bitterly on account of Joseph, he and all his household. And he went from the place where he dwelt in Hebron, and his men with him. And he comforted Jacob his son, and he refused to be comforted. And after this, Jacob rose up from the ground, and his tears were running down his cheeks. And he said unto his sons, Rise up and take your swords and your bows, and go forth into the field, and seek whether you can find my son's body, and bring it unto me, that I may bury it. Seek also, I pray you, among the beasts, and hunt them, and that which shall come the first before you, seize and bring it unto me. Perhaps the Lord will this day pity my affliction, and prepare before you that which did tear my son in pieces, and bring it unto me, and I will avenge the cause of my son. And his sons did as their father had commanded them. And they rose up early in the morning, and each took his sword and his bow in his hand. And they went forth into the field to hunt the beasts. And Jacob was still crying aloud and weeping, and walking to and fro in the house, and smiting his hands together, saying, Joseph, my son, Joseph, my son. And the sons of Jacob went into the wilderness to seize the beast. And behold, a wolf came toward them. And they seized him and brought him unto their father. And they said unto him, This is first we have found. We have brought him unto thee, as thou didst command. And thy son's body we could not find. And Jacob took the beast from the hands of his sons, and he cried out with a loud and weeping voice, holding the beast in his hand. And he spoke with a bitter heart unto the beast, Why didst thou devour my son Joseph, and how didst thou have no fear of God of the earth, or of my trouble for my son Joseph? And thou didst devour my son for naught, because he committed no violence, and didst thereby render me culpable on his account. Therefore God will require him that is persecuted. And the Lord opened the mouths of the beast in order to comfort Jacob with its words. And it answered Jacob and spoke these words unto him. Well, my little friend is here. Don't know if you can see him. Comes out of here every time I read. I don't want you to fall. All right. As God liveth, who created us in the earth, and as thy soul liveth, my Lord, I did not see thy Son, neither did I tear him to pieces, but from a distant land also came to seek my Son, who went from me this day, and I know not whether he be living or dead. And I came this day into the field to seek my son, and your sons found me and seized me and increased my grief. Have this day brought me before thee, and I have now spoken all my words to thee. Now therefore, O Son of Man, I am in thy hands, and do unto me this day as it may seem good in thy sight. But the life of God who created me, I did not see thy Son, nor did I tear him to pieces. Neither has the flesh of man entered my mouth all the days of my life. And when Jacob heard the words of the beast, he was greatly astonished, and sent forth the beast from his hand. And she went her way. Jacob was still crying aloud and weeping for Joseph day by day, and he mourned for his son many days. Hi, Susan. Good to see you. Glad you could join me. My little cicada friend decided to join me today. Every time I come out, where did you go, buddy? Did you fall on the ground again? No, that's not locusts, dear. Those are cicadas. I love to be out here. It's been a great day. I love it. Well, I tried to show him to you, but I don't know where he went to. He was on the table here a minute ago. He must have flew off. Got one little cicada likes to, every time I read the book of Proverbs or read Jasher, same one that comes out here. Well, you know, I look at things a little differently from some people. You know, the way I think is like this. When things like that happen, I believe that animals know. You know? Or sometimes, you know, I think sometimes maybe the Lord joining you, you know, you never know. You know, well, I probably got a whole lot more back home. But no, that's the way I think, It's, things have happened to people, and I think sometimes could be the good Lord or just like animals know whether you're good or bad, That's like Lutz, big dog, the Labradoodle, follows me everywhere I go since I've been here. It's my youngest niece's dog, but he follows me wherever I go most of the time. I can't do anything by myself while he ain't at my feet, or have to be careful where I step, or I might step on him. But that's the way I think. The animals know good people. I believe they do. And I believe that they'll come around, whether it's God that sends them, or what, or if it's just God himself somehow, Who knows for sure? If animals could only talk. Well, come on. Well, you keep falling on me. Well, don't want to step on you. Well, I can't get him. I don't want to crush him, though. Can you... Did you all see him? But yeah, he or she likes to be with me every time I read the Bible or I read Jasher. He's always out here. He or she, don't know which. But not always here, but it's just when I get the Bible out in the morning, or I bring Jasher out here and read it, it's always the same one. Yeah. Well, I think he's about to die. I think he's got a little parasite or something on him, because a bunch of them have already died out all over the yard. But I gotta get up and stretch a minute. Seems like every time I sit down I get stiff. So, how's everybody's day been so far? Yeah. Yeah, it's what happens when you get almost 60 years old. But I don't know if you all can see this. But, yeah. Well, you got a few years on me. But I like this today. It's been a great day. It's not been very hot. I don't know what the temperature is out here, but it has to be in the mid-60s or something. But it's not been a bad day. But I cleaned my sister's car out today. Washed it and cleaned it a little bit. Detailed it some. Well, I'm hoping it'll hold off till I can get home tomorrow or Sunday. Well, you know, gotta help do something, you know. Brother can't hardly do nothing for his back. So, his back bothers him, so I wanted to save my sister a little money on having the car cleaned and stuff, so I just got bored, so I thought I'd clean it up a little. But I know how to do that kind of thing, 'cause used to work for a Ford dealership, and I washed and detailed cars back in the early to mid-90s in Indianapolis, Indiana. You ready to move down south? Well, you're welcome to come to Kentucky. But I'll warn you, the weather's weird in Kentucky now. I'll just tell you ahead of time. You never know what it's going to do in Kentucky. I mean, if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it might change. And go from being a beautiful sunny day like this to raining and thunderstorms. You use Skype and Discord, Diane? Oh, that's funny. This Texas expression. Well, well, I'm glad you all could join me today. It's good to see everybody. Oh, you're on Discord too? But good thing is, since I've been on YouTube, they ain't tried to take me off yet. Oh no. Forgot your password. Well, guess you'll have to create another one. I'm glad the breeze is blowing a little bit. Kind of keeping the phone cool instead of getting hot and dying on me. Yeah, thank you, Jesus, yeah. Well, what I always do as far as passwords I started doing, I'd write them out and put them in my wallet or something, so that way I can remember my passwords. Well, boy, them cicadas are really singing. Wow, they're loud. Alrighty. I'd like to take a moment while I got it on my mind. Like to thank you all for joining me whenever you can. I appreciate you guys very much. And thank you all for your supporting me. I appreciate it very much. Love you guys with all my heart. And I hope and all of you have a great evening, rest of the evening. Well, thank you all very much. I'm glad you all could join me. I do appreciate you all. I just want you to know that. And like I always say or try to say, y'all have any questions about the Bible, feel free. And I'll do my best to answer, Y'all are welcome anytime. But once again, I'd like to thank you all for joining me today. Hope you all have a great evening, and hope to see you all on Colin's stream later this evening. That's all I have for today, so I'm going to get off here and let my phone be charging for a little while. But I love you guys, and may God bless you all and be with you and keep you safe. Love you guys. Bye for now, and I'll see you in a little while.